Hello and welcome to the new video. Today we're going to take a look at the new all-out event for the Pokemon 30th anniversary. We're going to be able to get instance encounter legendaries. This is basically the topic of today's video. We're going to take a look at all of them and see if who's going to be good, which ones you might want to hunt. And of course, this is kind of still not going to be guaranteed. Here's a list of Pokemon that you're not going to be able to encounter, but based on the list, everybody can expect that you are going to be able to encounter practically every legendary right now from instance. If this is actually going to be the case, we don't know, would be very, very much cool, because we see currently in the wild already the Moltres, the Articuno, as well as the Zapdos. But this might influence here basically all of the legendaries, because there's certain ones that I picked out that you're not going to be able to encounter, like Mewtwo not going to be on the list, Giratina's not going to be on the list. Otherwise, you're going to have a Zygarde here, for example, that's also going to be excluded. Cosmog and Cosmome are excluded. Eternatus is going to be excluded. Cupfo and Urshifu is going to be excluded. And yeah, that's going to be basically it. Those are going to be the legendary Pokemon that you're not going to be able to get, which means that's going to be the rest you're going to be able to get. And we're going to rank them all here today. And we're going to try to make it fast, because of course, I want to value your time. And starting off with Articuno, which you can currently get already, and it's very solid Pokemon after the recent change, to Powder Snow being added on this Pokemon, which makes it a good Pokemon to get here. It's definitely good. It's not a must-have, like it's not the best, most broken Pokemon. I just made a video about this Pokemon though, if you want to see it, check it out. But here's the thing, I'm not too sure if they're going to include the Galarian forms, which are actually encountered by instance as well. We're going to have the Galarian Articuno, which is sadly, currently at least, not very good. I have to change something real quick. There we go. But it might have potential in the future, which might be something that would be interesting. So maybe this Pokemon is going to be good in the future with a new charge move, as this has like a signature move as well. That's not in the game yet. Zapdos, in my opinion, I played this Pokemon quite often recently, is a very good Pokemon to run. It's a very nice core breaker for the Go Battle League, and we're gonna see it here as well. Zapdos itself, especially the Shadow one, is cool, but now it's got access to Heat Drive as well. It's a good Pokemon to have, absolutely. But yeah, it's not going to be very good right now. It's not going to it's not going to be too broken right now, but it's still a very good Pokemon. Of course, you cannot get the Shadow version of those Pokemon, but here's as well the Zapdos in the Galarian form, which is more of a fun one to use right now. It actually has a bit of play currently already, thanks to the typing, thanks to the damage that this Pokemon can do, but they're currently now recently only been added multiple better fighting and flying type Pokemon that just are going to be stronger than this Pokemon, but also has a signature move that hasn't been released yet. Moltres itself is going to be a Pokemon, this is the Galarian Moltres, you just want the normal one for now. It's going to be a Pokemon that you can currently encounter and that can go literally into the Just Node here. This will never be very good in the Open Great League. There are too many flying and fire type Pokemon that are just better, so Moltres, like this is all just Open Great League, by the way. This is not for anything else, just Open Great League, because again, with instance, most of those would be then available for Great League CP. That's the main idea behind the video. I actually kind of missed to explain this. But all those Pokemon then, if they would be in instance, have the option to be Great League eligible. Some of them are already, like the first ones that we have here are all kind of eligible already, because they're already currently in the wild. But here, Moltres Galarian would be absolutely a must-have. It's one of the only must-haves of this list here. Very cool Pokemon for the Great League. Again, also can get buffed in the future, has still a signature move to come. Raikou is a non-shadow. This Pokemon got buffed quite significantly to the point where I would put it actually into, could be very good to have here. And definitely deserves to be in this tier. Nearly even must have, but like it's more good to be, like a good to have basically. Must have here, for example, the Moltres is like top meta. Like you don't have to lose Raikou, but it's a cool Pokemon. We have the Entei. Entei actually has potential for the future. Entei would, I think, learn Incinerate, which would make this Pokemon interesting, but right now it is very, very bad. Suicune, on the other hand, as well, has actually a very solid bulk for the Great League, and it's actually alright in terms of what it can do already, so I'm gonna put it into could be good. You see here the win rate actually very good in the current season, but it's kind of because of Bubble Beam and the baits with it. I don't think it's always going to be the case with this Pokemon, so you have to be a bit mindful. Lugia got buffed only recently as well for the Great League, with Dragon Tail being buffed and Fly being added. Makes this Pokemon a fun Pokemon to run. It has some potential there as well. It's not going to be top meta, but it's cool. And then we're going to take a look at Ho-Oh, which is, especially as a non-shadow, it's okay. It's a fun one again, but it's a better Moltres basically, but it's still not a better Talonflame, so like it's not going to be top meta. Now we're going to have the original Regis, which have been available as well in previous events for the Great League. Even only recently, they had like a Regi event coming up before, I think the Sinnoh Tour or something, which was fun to play. But here, Regirock, good to have, honestly. It has some potential, but I guess it's like, I don't know, like I would actually put a potential in the future. Right now, like nobody has been playing it. Same goes for Regis. They're actually not bad. They're really not bad. They just need a little bit of an update, like a little bit of a cheaper move, and those have all some potential. And then Regi Steel is also kind of more there. Like it's kind of disappeared out of the meta. It was top meta in the Great League before, like literally #1 spot. Just its lock-on is just a little bit of an issue in the current meta. But to be fair, yeah, I mean, I figure it deserves where it is right now. Latias, on the other hand, is actually a very fun Pokemon to run. Thanks to Aura Sphere on this Pokemon, we're going to have put it definitely into the fun tier. It's a very cool Pokemon to have. Maybe actually this is going to be in the good tier we have, and then the Latios is going to be in the fun tier because Latios itself is going to be worse. Back in the day it was better because it had Dragon Claw, while Latias didn't have that. But then Dragon Claw got changed, and now it's just the worse version of this one with less bulk, a little bit more attack power, but not as great. Kyogre for the Great League. Again, this is for the Great League, a normal Kyogre. Just no, sorry, it will never be really good. Unless it's like a super cheap move, it's not going to be there. Groudon, on the other hand, is a bit better, but it's not really a Pokemon that you would want to run there. So like that's the thing as well. A lot of the like top tier legendary Pokemon are not gonna be that great. Rayquaza is going to be one of them. Rayquaza is a Pokemon that I would like to see twist down it though, which would mostly make it stronger. We can even check it out real quick because I think it learns this move in the main CS games, and I feel like Rayquaza should be stronger than it is currently. This Twister is still not going to be good though. Uxie, already available for the Great League. It's actually a fun Pokemon that got buffed quite a bit recently. We had the Confusion buff, we had the Swift on it. It's a fun Pokemon to have, but it's not that great. We have a Mesprit as well. Mesprit is going to be kind of the same, just in worse, and that's just no. And then we have the Uxie, the Azelf, which is going to be the same and even worse. And yeah, this Pokemon is just a no as well. Dialga, we have as a Shadow already available, but not as a non-Shadow. We have both Dialga forms here again. I highly doubt that we're going to get the Origin form, by the way. I really don't see that. It's a fun Pokemon. If it gets as cheaper, we would even have potential in the future, but I highly doubt it. If you want to take a look at the Origin form here, it's going to be kind of the same. Like they do basically the same, even in the Open Master League, which is not really the case for Palkia. They're both a bit differently. We can actually go for the Origin form first. It looks a little bit stronger, would most likely be also in the fun tier, but both of them going to end up there. Like they're both going to be just fun Pokemon. A lot of the Pokemon are going to be fun tier. I think that's going to be the most popular tier today, which is like the mid tier. Heatran is actually kind of cool, but needs a better fast move. So I would actually, I mean, it's still kind of alright. I would put it could be good, basically, to have, because of the typing is very unique. We're going to have Regigigas, which I don't really need to show you that this Pokemon is absolutely down and just no, like one win. Who's it winning against? This is actually the most interesting thing. And wins against Bastion. Thank God. The one Pokemon they can beat with Regigigas is literally the other Golem. Fantastic. Cresselia. Currently, I would actually say it's a must-have. It's a very good Pokemon with a recent buff towards it. Very, very good Pokemon. And now we're going to take a look actually at one of those that I really feel like is going to be interesting. Galarian. Very good fighter that has coverage with Stone Edge as well for flying types, and I actually will put it into the must-have tier. I think it's a very interesting Pokemon for team building. Terrakion, on the other hand, is absolutely not there, and we're gonna put it in fun to have because it has a lot of attack and has some interesting potentially with Sacred Sword plus Rock Slide. I would rather play this one, but it's not going to be top meta. But Virizion, on the other hand, is going to be one of the Pokemon that I'm mainly interested in, and that would be absolutely top meta as well. Now we have the Genies, we have the Tornadus, which is... just pull it down. Just pull it down there. There where it deserves to be. You have the Therian form, which has at least Bleak Windstorm, which is fantastic. Go back down there as well. Then we have the Thundurus, which in itself, Thundurus is going to be a bit more of a fun Pokemon. We already taking a look at the Shadow version of this, and non-Shadow is kind of fun as well then. A very good Pokemon actually in the Great League, weirdly enough. And then we have the Therian form, which is a bit of a worse version actually, but might be having some potential in the future. At the end of it, it has Wild Bolt Storm, which is a very good move, but that's it. How good is Reshiram? How good is Zekrom? Neither of them are going to perform as great as us, of course, in the Great League, but and the House League, I mean. But I mostly would just put them into just no. For Zekrom, that's not really an alternative. I think it's currently the only Dragon and Electric type. I know that there's like the fossil Pokemon that's like coming up, as far as I know, like Dracozolt or something. Is it? actually, yeah, Ampharistan is dragon type and electric type there. And then there's the other form of Raikou, like the primal form of a Raikou that's going to be able to do that as well. But Zekrom itself is mostly more of a fun Pokemon to run. I feel like that kind of has to be there. But then we're going to have the Landorus. Landorus have both form scores, Therian form with Sensei Storm now with the buff as well to Mudshot is going to be more fun. And then the other form, I think that's actually a bit stronger here because Rock Side, you're going to get there a bit faster, you're going to get a bit better to it. I'm just going to put it into the fun tier. I don't think that deserves to be anywhere else. We have next up. This is the thing as well, I don't include fusion Pokemon because at the end of the day, they all go by Kyurem. You have Kyurem Black, you have Kyurem White. I just have normal Kyurem because I can't see them having fusion Pokemon in the wild instance. It doesn't make any sense at all. So Kyurem, actually a very cool Pokemon to have. I think that would be an interesting one. Xerneas, it's too slow, I would assume. Yeah, it is too slow. Maybe if it gets an update, but I highly doubt this. I actually will put it into the just note here. Yveltal, I actually have for the Great League. It's super rare to get. It's most likely my rarest Pokemon to get, and it's banned currently from the Great League, so that's fun. That's why it's in the fun tier. We have next up now the Tapus. We have the Tapu Coco. I have to, like, those actually always confuse me with the German names. I would, so sorry about that. Very interesting. I would say it's a fun Pokemon. Yeah, I feel like that kind of deserves to be there. Then we have the Tapu Lele. That is not how you write Tapu. Where we're going to have Confusion now, Psyshock, which got buffed, and Nature's Madness, which is kind of more... Yeah, I can't see it being good, honestly. And then we have the Tapu Bulu, and Tapu Bulu is going to be a Pokemon as well that has 17 wins. Actually, kind of alright. Interesting typing, good typing is like the typing of Whimsicott, but I feel like Whimsicott is just better. And Tapu Kimi actually is already... Tapu Fini, sorry, again, those names really confuse me with the German ones. Those are, like, this Pokemon is already in the Great League available, but got nerfed quite significantly with Surf over the while. Was actually very good at one point. Would need a buff, basically, but actually has some good stats for it. And now, the final bits here, we're going to have Solgaleo. Solgaleo with Fire Spin is having a great typing, but, like, might need a better move update. We have Lunala, which is more of an attacker, like a sweeper here, with a Shadow Ball Moonblast. With Confusion, I find it kind of interesting to believe that Confusion is better than Shadow Claw, and that for good reason. Shadow Claw is definitely the better move. Doesn't mean that it's going to be good, needs a cheaper charge move in order to be good in the Great League. We have the Necrozma again, you have the other two forms of Necrozma as well, which I highly doubt we're going to see. Actually, they have the three forms, the Ultra Necrozma. It's very likely going to come for the next Go tour, but this is going to be bad. Again, same for Zacian and Zamazenta. I assume that we're going to get just the hero form. I don't think we're going to get the crown form of them. That would be very weird, I feel like, because then you would need to have both in there. But they're both, I can tell you, already not really that good. Regigigas, we already know. Regigigas is going to be a bit better. Oh, actually, I have to take a look real quick at the Zamazenta before I kind of talk some nonsense here, because it is a bit bulkier, but it's still not good. Now we're going to have here the Regigigas. I played only recently for short, and it actually wasn't that bad. It's a fun Pokemon to run. Because of Volt Switch plus Thunder Cage, it's actually very nice. And then we have the Regidrago, which is one of the top Pokemon currently available. This is going to be in the must-have tier. It's really, really strong. And now, actually, a Numeros is going to be the final one, kind of that is released already in Pokemon GO. A Numeros incarnate form is going to be very interesting, actually, for the Great League. I would say, still put into the... Actually, I would put into the good-to-have tier. Has interesting coverage in Fly and Grass Knot. It would be a little bit of a different version of the Togekiss. And now we have the Therian form, which is kind of at the same place. And this is going to be it. This is going to be it kind of for my list for this video. I hope this is helpful for you. I hope this is going to see what would be interesting, at least for the even upcoming events. Also, like, of course, for the non-shadow version, but this is something that was requested from me to do this video, and so I did it. Yeah, this is going to be my tier list for the Pokemon that you should maybe look out for the upcoming event for this weekend from Instance. So, hope you enjoyed it. See you then. Bye-bye.